You'll often hear people say you have to go to bed at the same time every night, which I disagree with as a sleep coach. Um, there's some nuance to this. So when you wake up at the same time every morning, what ends up happening inadvertently is around 16 or 17 hours later, you have this sleep pressure chemical called adenosine that builds up in your brain, and it makes you very sleepy, and it needs to be released by the act of sleeping. So if you have that consistent wake up time, what you can expect is that you're going to become sleepy around the same time each night. Now, it might not be exactly the same, um, but what I tend to recommend for people is going to bed when you feel sleepy. And if you have that regular wake up time, you're going to be more likely to feel sleepy in that ballpark area. So, bedtime, I would say, probably have about an hour window that you expect to go to bed. So, instead of saying, I'm going to bed at 9 o'clock every night, well, gosh, what if you're not sleepy one of those nights at 9 o'clock? Give yourself a little leeway to kind of stay up until 9:30, maybe 10, to get that sleepiness built up so that you can avoid tossing and turning in your bed when you're not sleepy. It's such an important point about our environment. I like to look at the bedroom as a sleep sanctuary, and what that really looks like is a cave. So your bedroom should be like a cave, and that it should be cool, dark, and quiet. So, as far as the temperature goes, our bedroom should be a couple of degrees cooler than the environment compared to the rest of our house. So, generally speaking, we're looking at like 65 to 68 degrees. I wouldn't go past 72. They've shown that nightmares are more prevalent when it's warmer. Um, you can you can actually use a fan to cool you off more. You can use a cooling mattress pad if you're a really hot sleeper. I use one of those. It has changed my sleep. And then bedding materials, materials that you wear for your pajamas and PJs. Bamboo fabrics tend to be the most cooling for people. So look into the bamboo fabric for sheets, PJs, nightgowns. And then let's see what we were talking about. We were talking about the cave. Okay, so cool, dark. We want to make sure that our rooms are actually pitch black dark. So, technically speaking, if you had your hand in front of your face, you would not be able to see your hand. That's how dark it should be. And so, how do we achieve this level of darkness? So, there are a couple ways. You can get blackout shades or curtains. They're actually making a lot more now. Some really great brands have come up in the past few years that are affordable. And then there is the good old fashioned eye mask. I have one in my suitcase. I never leave home without it, because when you're traveling, you never know how the lighting situation is going to be in a hotel or Airbnb. You don't know. They're probably not. I mean, some places do not have blackout shades or curtains. Some Airbnbs really don't. They don't have. They're not equipped for a really good sleep conducive environment. So that the eye mask is a great alternative to the blackout shades and curtains, because it's portable and it's a little less costly. So, and then with the quiet, so it's hard to actually have complete quiet, because for most of us anyway, because maybe random house noises you may have, creaks, pets, kids, ambulances, things that kind of will disturb our sleep. So a lot of people like to lean into white noise machines, or maybe nature noises or something to kind of mask the sounds that may happen during the night.
Yeah, I also use earplugs as well. And I found
Yes.
that I know that it might not be comfortable for the majority of people, but I found a really good pair on Amazon, where it's able to just fit in my ear and it doesn't bother me. And so I found, like, with the combination of a sleep mask and the earplugs, I have the best quality of sleep.
I love that you're wearing the earplugs. That's great.
Yeah, it just blocks out all the noise, and I found the quality of sleep is much better than rather without.
Yeah.
And so, when it also comes to blue lights, screens
Yeah.
before bed, how much does that impact? overall.
Yeah, that's a really nuanced conversation. And it's sort of a heated topic in the field of sleep right now because you have some conflicting data on that. Um, I wouldn't recommend just I kind of operate on the abundance of caution principle. I wouldn't recommend a lot of bright lights before you go to bed, and that can come from overhead lights, LED lights in your home. It can come from screens from your computer, your tablet, or your phone. So, really, I think the best course of action for people to take is if they are going to be on a screen before bed, is to have blue light blocking glasses on because those do a really good job of blocking the blue light. But there's another piece to the conversation that I think has gotten missed, but is actually becoming, I think, more of a topic right now, and that is the content of what you're consuming. Right. So you could be scrolling TikTok wearing your blue blocking glasses because you think, okay, I'm blocking out the blue light, which is all fine and good. But think about what you're consuming on your screen. That the content on TikTok could be too stimulating, too controversial. Um, you don't want to be texting with somebody that's, maybe you laden with problems. You don't want to have any text wars with anybody. So I think it's really important to consider what's the content that we're looking at. So for me personally, and people kind of raise their eyebrow sometimes with this, I watch TV before bed. That's personally what I find to be relaxing, and it makes me sleepy. And I am, though, wearing the blue blocking glasses, and I'm also very particular about the content that I'm watching. So I'm watching things that are not stimulating or scary. There's no news. It's just like comedies, food shows, decorating shows, things that are not going to kind of make you think too hard. So again, it's a nuanced conversation, but I would definitely say, try to dial back on the screens as much as possible in the hour or half an hour before bed. I think that's probably a best practice for most people.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, I noticed just taking walks as well has the same effect.
That's a great practice for kind of de-stressing. Also, it helps with lowering the blood sugar after your meal. So it helps with so many things. I love that you do that. Good sleep really begins with foundational practices, and I mentioned some of those: getting the light, having the consistency. I know it can be really tempting to want to get a lot of the fancy gadgets and stuff like that, which they're fine. I have some of those. But when you're starting a sleep optimization journey, focus in on the basics before you go to the biohacks. I think that's really a great message that people need to hear.
Hey guys, I would like to take a moment to introduce you to our app, Yoga Plus. You will have access to an incredible selection of videos led by top instructors in yoga, fitness, nutrition, and so much more. Download our Yoga Plus app available on iOS and Android today.